Hello everyone. Today I'm gonna present about automating Kubernetes image update on Minikube. So let's know about this automate first. This is the automating Kubernetes image updater with Argo CD on a Minikube, which involving leveraging Argo CD. It is one of the GitOps continuous delivery tool for Kubernetes. This process or this automating will allow you to manage your Kubernetes application configuration declarative using Git repository and Argo CD. So let's know about these two one by one. Let's begin with the Docker. So what is this? The Docker is a containerization platform that allows the developer to package the application, which is today we're gonna build our package and put it to the GitHub repository. It have many advantages such as the Docker image can run consistently across the different environment. For example, we have one image, it can run on Mac OS and Windows by managing the configuration before it built. And each container will run isolated environment to ensure the change made in one container doesn't affect another. Next is gonna be Argo CD. The Argo CD is one of the GitOps continuous delivery, or we know as a CD. It's a tool for Kubernetes. It helps us to automate the deployment of the application to ensure that our application is in our desired state, such as a living state or running state, which is it started and running correctly, or a terminated state, which is okay, we don't want it, we're gonna terminate it. And it has many advantages because Argo CD follow the GitOps methodology where the desired state of the application is defined in GitHub repository, and the Argo CD automate the deployment process to reduce the manual intervention of the human error. And it has a very unique functionality, which is a rollback, which is if you updated this application and you don't want it, we can also roll back it to the previous state that we want. Next is a Helm. Helm is a package manager for Kubernetes. It simplifies the deployment and management on a Kubernetes application. It uses a shard which package pre-configured on a Kubernetes resource. So what is a Helm shard exactly? A Helm shard can be version, share, and reuse across the different projects. Helm shard will define which application is and the component, the secret, the config that is application one gonna define on shard. So basically, shard is a one application. It is for example, I have a web server application. We're gonna say is this shard is a web server application, and it is it have many advantages such as Helm is just a template for deployment in Kubernetes, such as I want this web server, 3 web server. Okay, we just have only one shard, which is one template, and we're gonna build it, and it's gonna be identically as is use the same template, and as it's a template, it can be reusable. And the dependency management is very good because Helm allow dependency between the shard to simplify the management in a complex application stack. Next is Minikube. As its name, Minikube is a small version of a Kubernetes. A Minikube is a tool that enable developer to run a Kubernetes cluster locally on machine. It is a useful development for testing and experiment with a Kubernetes application. and it provides a single node Kubernetes cluster inside the virtual machine on a local system for allowing the developer to simulate a production environment. For its advantage, as a local development, the Minikube provides a lightweight and portable environment for developing Kubernetes application locally, and it can be rapidly iteration. The developer can quickly deploy, test, and iterate. As I said, the Minikube is a small version of Kube. It's a lightweight and is made for a playground to testing for example a one, two, or it can be multiple application that we're gonna use the Kubernetes, but for testing we just use only Minikube. And now we're gonna use this our project playground for the automating, for demonstrate you how to automating by use Argo CD image updater on a Minikube. So let's take a look at this chart. This is how a Docker image, Argo CD, HEM, and Minikube working together. As you can see, the Minikube is let's say it's just a machine for our application to run. So Minikube contain Argo CD and application. Which is this will be the HEM. It's gonna be here and contain a deployment, a template for the deployment. And this is a Docker image. The thing that I want to point out is here, which is Argo CD image updater. So what does this do? In this environment, if the new image of the application that we view has been deployed, for example, if the image have been pushing here, the Argo CD image updater is gonna loop in every 2 minutes. It's gonna try to check that is there any new version. If it not, okay, I'm gonna wait and check 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes, and then if it's something, if the new version has pushing in, if the Argo CD know, it's gonna right now check and then tell the Argo CD, okay, you need to update, and then it's gonna use the HEM template to update it. So what does this mean? It means that as HEM is a template, it's gonna change the tag and the image's name to redeploy the application again. So this is a main concept of the Argo CD image updater. Once again, so if the new image have been pushing to the repository or any registry, if the Argo image updater know that the new thing is coming, it's gonna tell him and then trigger the update the version to redeploy it again. So the thing that we need to install, of course, a Docker. This is a main thing that we're gonna use. So if you don't have it, please install it. I put a code here, which is a bit I have to say that this is command line for the Ubuntu Linux. So if you don't have it, please download it somehow. We need a Docker and kubectl, which is a Kubernetes command. So we can use the Kubernetes command to do the thing that we need. Here is a command for download the Kubernetes or kubectl. Next is a HEM. We're gonna use the HEM command line to create a HEM chart or a template for a deployment that we want. Next is of course Minikube for running, and Argo CD, the main thing that we gonna use to deploy our, to help us deploy our application. And next is gonna be the extension of the Argo CD, which is an image updater. as I said, the image updater is just an extension of the Argo CD to help us monitoring the new image. If there are new image, it's gonna be updated automatically for us. So, infrastructure. We're gonna use him as our infrastructure. As I says, a him is a template for deploying an application in a manner that we want. So everything that we want to specific for application to be or for our application to be deployed is going to be putting here. So think about him as an infrastructure of our application. So to set up our infrastructure by him, if you already install a him command, you can typing a him create my app to create it will auto generate a basic file that we need for him. About my app, you can type it anything that you want. For example, if your application name is a Nginx, just typing a him create Nginx, or if your application name is SKE, just typing him create SKE, and it will auto generating a photo shot, a photo template, and a bunch of files inside. The main thing that I want to point out is gonna be the deployment file. So this is the file that we're gonna config something to make our application be deployed successfully, and value file is gonna be the value that we're gonna be passing to the deployment. So some variable that if it need to be passing to the deployment, and if you don't want to be a fixed code, and even if something cannot be fixed inside the deployment, we're gonna be putting here in the value file. Okay, as I said, we're gonna focusing on the three file. This is a value, deployment, and a secret. About the secret file is not auto generating when you type a him create, so we have to create by ourselves for putting some credentials such as a GitHub key, GitHub username, something like that, and I'm gonna show you how to do that. So when you already created, this is an example of the deployment that we're gonna it's gonna look like, or we're gonna config it. So for example, here my deployment name is Nginx web server, and the image is the image was passing from the value file to this. For example, value.image.repository, value.image.tag. So if you look in the value file is here. So the repository, of course, and the tag, and pull secret. This is a key for pulling the image from the GitHub. So this is a process that we create a secret file. So this is a structure that we want, which is we need two secret, a GitHub package and a Docker configuration. All of this gonna be in base encode base 64, which is you have to encode the text first to be putting in here for a safety. What does it look like? So we have two things that we need to encode, right? A GitHub package and a Docker configuration. So this is a Docker configuration. You have to type in a username, which is going to be here, a password, a GitHub token. You have to generate your own token, all right, in order to put it here. And if you use GitHub, of course you have to need a token, because if you want to log in to your local machine, you have to have it. So a GitHub username, a GitHub token, a GitHub email, and then we're gonna copy this and put in and we're gonna encode it. And next is a key that this one, GitHub package. So what we need your GitHub username, and then a colon followed by your token, GitHub token, and then you copy the text and let's encode it. So I will show you. So we're gonna copy, and for example I use this one encode, sorry, and then I put a string here. Okay, you have to change it to your username, alright, and your token and your email. And when you encode it, boom, you got something like it, and then you copy it and place in here instead of base 64 blah blah blah, and you have to maintain the semicolon. Oh, sorry, you have to maintain the double quote. So that bunch of string gonna be standing in here and here. So this is the secret file. Alright, so I will show you. For example, I have a folder infrastructure here. So new cd infra. I already create the folder, so you can create whatever you want, name it whatever you want, and then I create, as I said, it can be anything that you want. For example, I want this to be a SKE, so SKE, boom, it's create a folder for me. This is SKE, a shard, a template, and a shard. So our shard is gonna have a name that auto generated, which is a SKE, and the deployment. So it doesn't look like as I show you, alright, because it is auto generated. But I want to show you that the deployment is here. So in order to make it look like this one, I'm gonna be copy from here, because I already done it. So and voila, I'm gonna put it here. So let's take a look at this a little bit. It's gonna be the kind metadata. This is the name of our application. This is I name it Nginx web server. So whatever you want, if your application name is SKE, just type it SKE, and spec. Okay, the main thing that I want to point out is here. So this is image. This is a name of image that you need to put it here. For example, this image will retrieve the value for the value file. Value image the repository. So if you take a look in the value file, yeah, we got a repository here, and the pool policy and a tag. So this is going to be passing to the file to our deployment. And the volume mount is you can mount the part. This volume is belong to the image. For the HTML volume, it's just a name. This is just a name. But the main thing is the mount part. So in this part belong to this image. For example, if this image is this is example, alright. Is this imaging name as SKE container latest. In this container gonna have a directory name user share nginx and html. So the mount part is a part that let's make our application deep know that okay, our deployment has like some kind of the portal into the file or the directory inside the container. So this is it. And the next is the value. As I said, the value is something that we can be passing to the deployment. For example, repository and pool policy and tag. Okay. So Argo CD image updater. This updater is a file that we're gonna use this a file to deploy our application. What does it mean deploy? The previous one is a ham. Ham is just the infrastructure. Okay, it have a deployment template, but it doesn't deploy anything because it's just a template and our infrastructure. So the Argo CD image updater file is play the important role, which is gonna be okay. If I run the command, this is I'm gonna show you. If to deploy this thing, it's gonna be trigger. It's gonna trigger this. Okay, gonna trigger this infrastructure and then go inside and okay, what's your deployment? Oh, this is our deployment, and then okay, it's gonna deploy something like that. I'm gonna find this image and deploy it for you, and then boom, our application gonna be a pen. So to set up the Argo CD image updater, of course you have to install the Argo CD and the Argo CD image updater, which is the extension, and create the file, the YAML file. So this is an example of the file. This file gonna deploy our application. So let's take a look inside of this one by one. Alright. A kind. This is the thing that we tell that okay, this is a kind of application. And name is Nginx web server. And namespace Argo CD. Yes, of course, this is Argo CD image updater. We have to have some kind of the namespace. This is in our project. We're gonna use two of namespace, Argo CD and the default. This is a thing that you need to remember. These belong to the Argo CD, so the namespace must be Argo CD. Let's take a look at the first annotation. As I said, the Argo CD image updater is have a functionality to monitor the image on the GitHub repository. To be said exactly, it can be Docker registry to. It can be any registry, but in this demo, I'm gonna use the GitHub registry, Argo and GitHub repository. So the first line, Argo CD image updater, is this is how we can tell that you're gonna tell the Argo CD to monitor this image. Okay, this is a deployment name Nginx web server, as I showed you in here. Alright, this is the name of our deployment. So name of our deployment, which is Nginx web server. This deployment is equal this image. Alright, this is image name and image text. This is this dhcr.io is belong to a protocol of the GitHub to know that okay, Argo CD gonna know that okay is start with dhcr.io is belong to the GitHub, and this is my GitHub username, and this is my image name and the tag. So tag can be anything. Alright, it's just a tag of the image that, for example, tag can be version. If the Nginx web server is version 1.1, if I put it here, it's gonna be okay. I'm gonna monitor only 1.1. And if I tag latest, anytime that I push the latest of the image into the GitHub repository or the package registry of the image, it's gonna be monitoring. I'm gonna looking for this, and if there are new one, I'm gonna update it for you. Okay, the updated strategy. In this, I choose the latest because okay, I want the latest one and the tag latest only. I'm not looking for the okay the version 1.1 1 point anything 1.8. I'm not looking for that. And the pull secret. This is how we specify the secret. So a secret colon a namespace, as I said, Argo CD is a namespace, and then a name of the secret. Okay, this is a namespace, and this is the name of the section of our secret, and this is the data. This is the key. So the key GitHub package, and the value is just a base 64 that we encoded in the previous. All right. Oops, sorry. The parameter. Okay, all right. You have to specific image.tag and the value. This is the parameter that's this zone parameter is gonna be passing to the value file. Remember, as I said, the value gonna be passing something into the deployment. So in order to make the deployment change, we have to create a parameter named image.tag. So the Argo CD is the above level of the hem. When the new things come, when the latest has been pushed, when the image latest have been pushing, this gonna be passing to this into the value file and then passing to our deployment. Okay, so deployment is just like a template. When Argo CD immediately trigger that, oh, this is a new thing. Okay, I'm monitoring this one and there are new thing. I'm gonna passing this into the parameter, into the value of our infrastructure and into the deployment. And deployment gonna deploy the new thing. And this is a repository URL, which is I already created. Okay, this is my username and on the GitHub. The thing that I want to say it, all right. The Argo CD image updater is will not reading. Okay, if I run this file to create the deployment to deploying our application, it won't gonna run if we're gonna run through this. All right, if it won't be okay. It won't gonna run through the local file. It's gonna run through the GitHub on the specific branch. So for example, if I change something to this, but I didn't push this but I didn't push this version into this GitHub, and when you run this file, it won't use the image pussycat name okay, all right, it won't do that because the Argo CD is on the local, and when we deploy, it's gonna deploy the infrastructure on a GitHub only. Okay, before we go to the GitHub image, so this is the thing that I tell you. Okay, so if you take a close look on this, on this infrastructure, I have two folder, Argo CD and a hem. This is this folder I have /nginx is connecting to my GitHub, which is this GitHub, and this file is running on the local. So let's not be confused. As I said, if I run this file, is won't trigger the thing on the local here. It will reuse the thing on the GitHub. So be careful about the confusion of this. The Argo CD, when we deploy using this file to deploying our application, it's gonna take a look our infrastructure on the GitHub on a specific branch only, not on the local. So about the Docker image, all right, just this is a demo. So I'm gonna create which is I already created a Docker file which is for building application image, and then a simple index.html, and then we're gonna build the image. All right, build the image. So the thing that I said that it have to be exactly the same as this, which is ghcr.io/your username, and then your image name, and then the tag that you want. And then when you build it, when you want to use a GitHub registry, you have to log in by using the command. All right, ghcr.io -u and GitHub username -p, which is use your token, and then to push your image, you just push it. When the Docker command is logged in with the GitHub, it's know that you want to pushing the image to the GitHub, so it's okay. This is the thing that I said. Right, ghcr.io/your username, your application name or your image name, and then tag latest. For example, this is the thing that I prepare, ghcr.io, my username, my application name, and the tag latest. Alright, Argo CD UI. To show this, I think we just begin the demo. Alright. So I won't use this. I gonna use mine, which is I already done something. All right. So engineer web server. Let me close this. All right. So let's begin. As I said, we use a Minikube, right? So let's start with the real environment first. Okay. To show this one is gonna be better. Alright, so we're gonna set up the Minikube. Alright. So if you are not install the Minikube or the Kube command line, please install it. We're gonna use this now. Alright. So Minikube start the Minikube. And then we have to wait a little bit. And this Minikube will be run on a Docker. Alright, this is as I said, this is a small version of the Kubernetes. If the real version of Kubernetes is gonna be isolated, it's not on the Docker. It's just a cluster, a big cluster that run on the virtual machine. But in this case, I cannot use that thing because it's not convenient. We're gonna use the Minikube. So we have to wait the Minikube to start it correctly. Alright. It will take some time, and I'm gonna prepare something. Alright. Okay. Okay, the Minikube is started correctly, so we can check it. Minikube status, and you can say okay, it's running, anything is okay now to be do the next thing. Alright, so we have to create a namespace. You remember, as I said, right? Okay, so if we refresh is here, it's have a namespace. This is a default. This is we're gonna use a default, and we have gonna create the Argo CD namespace. So it's created. Okay, if I refresh, it's gonna be a pin here. Next is we gonna install the Argo CD. So let's install it. We have to wait a little bit to be created correctly. So you create a bunch of things good. We can look at in the node. Oops. Okay, in the Minikube cluster. So okay. We can see that the Argo CD installed something and try to start some port here. Okay, it will take some time, so you have to wait. So I can show you something that's like right. Okay, is successfully assigned, but it's try to pull the image from the repository of the Argo CD. So you have to wait a little bit. The red will turn to the yellow, and the yellow will turn to green. So if I refresh, nothing. All right, you have to wait a little bit. We can try a command line to see that. Okay, no, not ready yet. So okay, the all of the Argo CD that it need has already installed here. And the other thing that I said is Argo CD image editor is as an extension of the Argo CD, so we have to install it too. We're gonna put it here to install it. Alright, everything correctly. Okay, the port is up in here. This is made up data, and we have to wait for it to start. Okay, let's skip this part until it start. Next is we're gonna set up the Argo CD. Okay, in order to use the Argo CD UI, we have to port forward it. Oops, I forgot the K letter here. So let me make it correctly. So kube port forward. Alright. Now we can use this thing on our local machine. So 0, 0. Okay, this is okay because it's not a HTTPS, so it's gonna have something like this. Don't be surprised. Click on the advanced and then proceed. Okay, it's gonna asking for the username. The initialized username password gonna be the admin, and in order to see you just use the namespace of the Argo CD, and then go to the configuration and the secret, and voila, here Argo CD initial admin secret. So passwords, this is our password. Okay, it's okay to see my password. It's will auto generated every time. So if you use a new URL, it's gonna be auto generated for you, and it's gonna be different from me. So this is Argo CD. This means that our Argo CD running correctly. Alright, and next is we're gonna deploy our application deploying our application by using the ham infrastructure, and we're gonna append here. So alright, to deploy our application, let's take a look at the file structure first. Okay, a ham, as I said, is already on the GitHub. Actually, I'm gonna show you my GitHub. So this one, and oops, sorry, and infrastructure. I already put the infrastructure. So if you have your own, you can name it anything. All right. For the meaningful, I gonna use the infrastructure. Here I already put the code. This is the ham. So if my ham already on the GitHub. Alright, you can see it, HTTPS and the GitHub, my username and the infrastructure.git is already there. Alright, so create your own and put your own there. As I said, you have to configure 3 things as the previous that I said. The deployment. Alright, the name, you have to change the name, and the image. Okay, put in here, and image policy, put in here, and verify. Alright, this is the name of the image that we already talking about in the Docker image section. So put your image name here, put your tag here, whatever, but I prefer the latest. And then the pull secret, put in the name here. Alright, GitHub package. So, and create the secret file. Alright, just slide it, Argo CD secret, Argo CD, and don't forget double quote, and your encode base 64 is gonna be on the middle here. All right, we need two. All right, a secret name Argo CD with a key of GitHub, a secret name GitHub secret name Docker config JSON. All right, so if when everything is done, you just push it to your GitHub repository. Now we're gonna try to deploy our application. So I'm gonna new the terminal. All right, okay, and we're gonna use the Kubernetes kubectl command line to deploy this. Okay, just take a look at this once again. All right, we have to have a name needed, and our application name. All right, image. Okay, the image that I tell you that this is the image, and colon the tag, and the key of the secret. So Argo CD namespace, as we created a name Argo CD secret, a key GitHub package. Okay, put it in here to make our deployment can be accessed to our GitHub repository to pull the image. Infrastructure repository URL, as I said, I already put it here. It won't gonna run through this folder, this structure. All right, when the application is started, it won't use this. We're gonna use this on the GitHub, so be careful. The thing that you share it here, if you want it to change, you have to push to GitHub and then redeploy it again. All right, okay, so let's see, CD infrastructure CD, Argo CD. Okay, Nginx web is here. So how to deploy it? Now we're gonna deploy it. All right, how to deploy this? We're gonna use kubectl apply to apply a file, and then that's f. Okay, f is a file. Okay, I want to apply the file, or otherwise it said, okay, kubectl, I want to apply this application. So if we run this command, it's gonna say that created. So we can take a look at the two ways. So we can take a look in here. It's gonna append a pod. Yeah, it's gonna append a pod here, and I want to show you here. This is the main thing that we're gonna use. All right. So yes, it's gonna append our application now. So if you take a look inside, we have to wait a little bit to read through the GitHub repo for our, as you can see that. So what's the detail that I show you? All right, the repo that is used is the infrastructure repo, and the path to the shard is a him, because it's in the him, and then Nginx web server. Okay, I'm gonna deploy it by use this bunch of things inside the Nginx web server directory. So in here, Argo CD secret. All right, it's just a secret that we use as a I have to say that when we apply, it will run to the GitHub, right? And then it's gonna create the thing that inside our infrastructure. For example, I have a secret. Okay, don't worry, we're gonna create a secret for you, which is here, Argo secret, GitHub secret. All right. What is it? What is inside your shard? As I said, shard is like an application. Okay, we have a shard of the Nginx web server. Is have a deployment file, which is we're gonna deploy it for you. This one. Okay, and then this pod. All right, this pod gonna run the container. This is a ghcr.io pim nginx latest. Okay, and then let's take a look at that. If is our image updater working correctly or not? So find the image updater, which is here, and then click in here, which is a log. We're gonna take a look at the log thing file. Okay, start. It's okay. This is the it may seem the error, but it's not a big deal. All right, it's just a bug from the Argo CD image updater. So as I research it, it's have nothing to be worried. So if you take a look at these, yeah, it's working correctly. Why? Because it's all right. Application 1, image consider 1. As I said, it's gonna take a look. It's gonna monitoring our application. Sorry, it's gonna monitoring our image. So it's good because we have already one image, and then you must monitor it for me, and you can see that every 2 minutes, okay, from 1 to 3, every 2 minutes it's gonna try to re-monitoring again if there are anything. So I'm gonna try to push a new thing. Oops, sorry, I'm gonna try to push something. So inside this, I already have a GitHub repo for the source code. This is the application that we want. All right, it can be anything, but I'm gonna use the simple index file for the Nginx web server. I already cloned it, which is here. All right, and I'm gonna push it into this. So let's update me. Okay, just hello world. I've got it hello. All right, just click save, and then I'm gonna new and CD image. Okay, as I told you that we have to name the image that we built correctly. So docker build. All right, importantly, this have to be ghcr.io/your username and your application name and the GitHub repo. For example, this my application that I want to deploy by Argo CD and use him as an infrastructure, which is named Nginx web server. So just name it here and then tag it as a latest. All right. So I click. If I build it, okay, you can see that it's gonna build it for me. Okay. And then I'm gonna try to push it to the GitHub. Push. Okay, push. Good. Okay. Now our image have been pushing here. Okay. The GitHub is a place to store a file, right? It's not gonna append here because it's not a file, it's an image of our application. So you click here, you can see image and then name like this. You're gonna right. Okay, so now it's up here. So you can put it, and the Argo CD can put it to use too. And if anything change, so you can see that it is gonna redeploy it to the new version. All right, you can see it. Okay, okay. As I said, this is not a big deal, right? It's try to check the image for me. This is good. All right, this is that is a part for the demo. I have to say that before I start this self-learn session, I have so many confusion. So, and I don't want you guys to confuse. All right. So, what does it mean to confuse it? There's a bunch of things that I think that it's gonna run on the local, but this is not. As I tell you, remember that, all right? That when we apply the Argo CD to deploying something, it's gonna trigger the infrastructure on a GitHub, not on a local. So it's gonna look like this. All right, our application gonna be running in the Minikube cluster. This is in the left box, Minikube, and then let's say we have a valve that deploying an application for our demo. We use Argo CD, right? A YAML file of the Argo CD. and then we apply it. So when we apply it, what will happen? It's gonna trigger, it's gonna using the GitHub link to find our infrastructure, which is a Helm chart that we install on the GitHub. And then a Helm will try to find the name of the image that you specific inside the Helm. Remember that, right? We specific, we specify here. We wanted, okay, GHC.io, this team, and Engineer Web Server is gonna looking for this, and it will find and utilize the image inside this. And yes, this is such a thing that's confusing, because if you are trying to customize a Helm and you apply the Argo CD and you don't push it, it won't change anything. So let not be confused that if you change something in the Helm deployment, if you change the template of the way that you want to deploy application, just push it to the GitHub and then apply the Argo CD file. Argo CD will link into the Helm chart and find the image that you specific, and it will monitoring the image for you if the new thing is coming. And thank you very much for your attention. I have to finish here. The Argo CD is not a new thing, but the image updater is coming. The recent last year is for me is very good CD, because it's made our delivery application or the software is very easier and reducing the error from the human. So try to understand and use this as a tool for you to for your project or for the software process. It will help you a lot if you understand something like this. And if you help not in the depth of way in software engineering too, because if you have finished your work and then you done it, okay, build the image and push it, you can test it in a way faster, because it is automating deployment. So thank you very much.